everybody, it is your real estate ninja, and have I got an absolute awesome video for you guys today. So I went down that rabbit hole of your videos. Holy crap, I never thought about what we're going to get into on the subject today. I never thought about it. Matter of fact, I looked down on the rental thing for agents. I'm like, that's like subpar. That's like for the people that can't sell, right? I'm like, you changed me. And that's a tough thing to do because I've been doing this for 20 years. But guys, I've got Andy Coleman. I'm going to let him introduce himself, tell you a little bit about his journey, and then we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of how this man is doing 500 to 600 grand a year by putting people in rentals.
Everybody has always thought rentals were taboo. Don't waste your time on them, but I'm here to tell you, I've made over $1.8 million in net commission over my first 4.5 years of being in real estate because of rental deals. Because of that, I've closed over 800 deals. It is an absolutely staggering number in the last few years. When you put it in those kind of terms, I became the #2 ranked agent in the world by sides. This is all due to a crazy rental strategy that I developed years ago in the beginning of my career because I didn't know what to do. I had just moved to Florida maybe a year or two prior, never had my real estate license before, had no idea even how to open up a lockbox. And my brokers, my team leaders, mentors, they're all saying, go after the buyers, go after the sellers, do this strategy, that strategy. And they all revolved around buyers and sellers. So I started doing it for a month or two with no network, no sphere of influence. Do you know how difficult that is as a brand new agent in a brand new state? I was failing miserably. I said, there must be another way to do real estate because people were telling me it takes 9 months on average to close your first deal. There's a 90% failure rate for agents. There's 1.5 million agents in the country. What makes you special? Well, guess what? I found something that was extremely special, and that's rentals. It's the rental niche that I developed and created out of necessity because I was struggling. I was burning through all of my savings, and I literally became wealthy off working with renters. The one thing that everybody is in agreement with that you should not touch, I flipped it on its head, and I became one of the most successful agents of all time in this short of a period by working with the tenants.
Let me ask you a question, because right now, if you're watching this on YouTube or Insta or Facebook, wherever, probably YouTube, the question that agents are asking in their mind right now, I know what they're saying. Yeah, but God, the last time I tried to do a rental, they only wanted to give me $25 because that's what I thought. When I saw your program, I'm like, I ain't getting in my freaking car for 25 bucks. Andy, tell us, is that the wrong stinking thinking?
It is. So, okay, let me break it down because there's basically two trains of thoughts on this, on how you're going to get paid and make money, right? First, it's working the rental deals. Phenomenal. Some states will pay you a little bit less than other states, but there's another way to make money off rentals that nobody really talks about. You might have heard it before, though. Renters into buyers. So There's two ways. Remember this, right? Making money on a tenant, where you bring a tenant to a listing agent, landlord, you'll get paid an X amount of money, which I'm going to talk about that $25 in a moment. Okay. Also, you can turn an active renter right now into a buyer. So convince them to buy a home instead of rent. And I'll break down some of those numbers in a little bit. There is a third method on doing rentals as well. It's actually getting the rental listings, which basically allows you to get more tenant leads on top of that. So I suppose technically three ways to do this. The way I mainly did it was I worked with the tenants. I did a bunch of rental listings. I love getting rental listings because I also get tenant leads. So let me break down the actual numbers here. The $25 per rental deal is not that accurate in certain areas, right? So South Florida, I'm in, let's say, the Miami, Palm Beach County area. Sure. I'm making about $1,500 to $2,000 commission. I get half a month's rent over here. So the listing agent, they'll get a full month's rent, and they are generous. They decide to give half a month to me as the tenant agent, or you, if you're in South Florida, you can get half a month's rent too. Then they keep half a month for themselves. So that's the full month dispersed between both agents. Now, obviously, I make a lot of money, doing this. If I can do 20 rentals in a month, which I've done more than that, I've done up to 30 rental deals in a month
That's
as a
awesome.
solo agent with no TC, no help. I can make $60,000. If I'm making $2,000 per rental deal and I do 20 of them, I'm making 40 grand. If I do 30, I'm making $60,000. And then if I turn
Wow.
one renter into a buyer, add an
Wow.
extra 10,000 on top of that. So that's the beauty if you're in a state where you're going to get half a month's rent commission. Now, there's a lot of states out there that's doing this. You got certain areas in California, certain areas in Florida, certain areas in New York, in Texas, in Chicago. There's a lot of areas that do that, but some areas do not. So that's what I really want to unpack right now is what happens when you're only making, let's say, $100, $200, because I'll tell you this, I talk to thousands of agents across the entire country, even in, let's say, Orlando, Florida, just 2-3 hours north of where I am in Palm Beach County. They only make on average about $300 per rental deal, right? You can
Now,
negotiate a
Andy, I'm
little bit
in
if they,
Claremont, 30 minutes outside of
oh,
Orlando, and I started testing the market here. And I have an agent that got back and said, yes, you could market my rental. They were paying me 30%. So I figured if I charged a $150 transaction fee, I'm making on average $850 30 minutes outside of Orlando on a deal. So just so you know, it's there.
brilliant. Look at that. That is literally what I say word for word in my videos. I am so happy that you actually put this into practice because it works better than you could ever anticipate. Think about this, right? Let's do the math on this. Let's even lowball it a little bit, right? So
Good. I got my
let's just
calculator.
say, yeah, I got a human calculator right up here.
Go
Watch
for it.
this. So let's just say you made $500 on average, right? So you do 20 deals, maybe some pay you 200, some pay you 800, maybe you settle at 500 on average for all the deals, right? Yes, that is awesome that you're charging a transaction fee. Now, I charge $300 to the tenant that I'm working with. So the listing agent, they'll pay you the $500. You'll charge $300 or whatever you want to the tenant. I suggest 300 though. That means you've now walked away with $800. So that's your new average commission that you're going to get in your area. $800 per rental deal that you do when you bring the tenant to a listing. Now, let's do the math on this, right? Let's just say you could do 10 in a month. Remember, I do 30 in a month, so anybody can do at least a third of what I can do, especially if you'll learn from me, which I'll talk about in a second. Now, 10 times $800. That's $8,000 in commission that you're going to get off your active renters that you've closed right now. What did I say before? You can turn a renter into a buyer every single month. If you're doing 10 rental deals a month, you will have enough lead flow coming in. You'll get enough referrals to convince, if you do this correctly, you'll convince one renter to turn into a buyer, meaning you're going to pocket an extra $10,000 every single month. Let's do the math on that. That's 8,000 plus 10,000, very easy to do. $18,000 in commission when you thought that, oh my God, it's only a $25, it's only a $50 commission check. It's not. It really, when you get into the nitty gritty of this and you do my volume approach, you add these up, you're making $18,000 a month. Do the math on that. What's that? That's like $200,000 per year. I think it's a little bit more than that.
For those of us at brokerages where you have a cap, you're not only going to cap quicker, which means you go to 100%. For those of us at brokerages like EXP, Epic, Real, we also get stock back, right? And so now, in your instance, you can hit Icon at EXP or Power Agent at Epic using this rental approach quicker. You can literally expedite that process by doing what you just said. And a lot of agents are going, right now I can just see it. They're like, what? Right? What? It's
Listen
true.
to this.
It's true.
I'm so happy you brought this up. I'm so happy you brought this up. So yes, I'm with the EXP Realty. I'm a 4-time Icon agent, meaning I've capped, to $80,000, and every brokerage, the LPTs, the Epics, the Reals, the EXPs, they all have slightly different programs, but they're all similar. So no matter what brokerage that you're with, think about this, right? So everyone, you have to get to a certain level to cap. Let's say it's 80,000 commission, meaning you pay EXP $16,000. They give you that back. I know you know this, but for some of the viewers out there that don't know this, you have to do. There's a little catch. There's some fine print in there. After you cap, you got to do 20 deals. Now it could be different in different brokerages. For EXP, you got to do 20 deals after capping, so it's not as cut and dry as you just making $105,000 in that year. You could sell a $4 million home. You're not going to Icon. because you got to do 20 deals after capping. Guess what? You could do 20 rentals in a month.
In 1
That was my
month.
fastest ever icon. I iconed in like 2.5 months with EXP Realty because I capped really
Unbelievable.
quick. Did 20 deals the next month after that. Boom! I'm an icon agent. I get the $16,000 back in stock. I'm sitting on 10,000 shares right now. So for anybody listening right now, if you're with EXP, you're with Epic, LPT, if you're with a garbage brokerage like Remax or Codwell and want to switch to one of these brokerages, then think about the fact that you can icon, you can cap every single year by doing a strategy that everybody tells you to ignore. It's the rental strategy. And I'm sure everybody is wondering, well, what the hell is your secret rental strategy here? Do you want me to explain it?
You know what? Let's go. Listen, guys. We baked the cake. Hopefully by now, you've paid attention. Your rental radar is up. Your income radar is up. Now we're about to part the door and go into the holy of holies. So Andy, walk us in to the practical approach on how this is going to work. How is this going to happen for an agent that wants to get excited about actually creating income during the month? And then tell them the difference between showing a rental versus showing a buyer a property. Two different strategies. So you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go through the door.
Okay. This is great. So I'm going to break down my entire rental strategy. Obviously, this is a 20, 30-minute podcast. You got to do hundreds of things correct. It takes hours and hours and hours and hours to actually learn everything. But this is the basic framework. So anybody can go out there and try it just like you did. And you got a rental deal under contract off a quick little 15-minute YouTube video. So anybody else can do this as well. Here's the thing. But if you do want to master this, I'm gonna talk about this in a second. And there's one thing that I forgot to mention, right? Because that's not the real money. Making $200,000 a year, like me, I make $500,000 a year off doing these rental deals because of the area that I'm in. That's not the real money. The real money comes when you're gonna get rich off of rentals. That comes in 2 or 3 years when you convert 30% of your closed renters into buyers. It's an industry average. 50% of all tenants eventually buy a home. If you only capture 30% of them, do the math on this. If you close 300 rentals between now and the time the market switches back to a buyer's market, they'll drop the interest rates, the prices will come down, the inventory will go back up. That's going to happen in a couple years. If you prepare yourself right now, make a few $100,000 per year right now, which is great. Then turn 30% of your closed renters into buyers. If you've done 300 of them, what's the math on that? That's about 90 buyers that you're going to get per year. That's damn near $1 million in commission you're going to make, all from, it's only a $25 rental commission. And now you're sitting there making $1 million a year because you got into rentals. So I didn't want to leave that out because that's extremely
but Andy,
important.
Then let me just throw a hashtag in. Hashtag who needs Zillow?
Tell you, you really, it's some of these, Zillow Premier programs, selling these leads for, what do? You spend $2,000 a month, you get 20 leads, maybe you'll convert one of them in 6 months. It's tough out there, but it's really because of the housing market right now. And I'm happy you brought that up because let me tell you why. Before I get into my strategy, I'm going to tell you why it's a rental market right now. So you could fact check me on this. Anybody watching right now, go to Google, type this in. There was about 4.5 million houses that were bought and sold last year in 2024. Do you know how many transactions there actually were? About 50 million. So what does that mean for the other 45 million transactions? There were rentals. 45 million rentals compared to 4.5 million houses that were sold. That means there's a 10-to-1 ratio of renters to buyers. 90% of the market is renting homes. As a real estate agent, there's 1.5 million of us all fighting over the same 4.5 million buyers and sellers. That means there's only enough for 3 deals per agent per year. You cannot make a living off of that, but you can make a living off doing the rental deal. So I'm very happy that you brought that up because that puts into practice of actual numbers and stats of why it's so important that you should be focusing on the renters, turning renters into buyers. And then guess what? 5, 6, 7 years down the road, your buyers are going to turn to sellers. It's a lifelong career strategy, all by starting with the basics, the renters. So, okay, enough anticipation. Let me actually tell you my strategy now. So here it is. You're going to take a rental listing. Like Kelly said before, If you're in an area where you have to ask for permission, like South Florida over here, we have Any Broker Advertise. I think Texas has it, New York has it. Depending on your MLS, sometimes you have it built in. If you're allowed to advertise a listing, that's great. If you're not, ask for permission to advertise a rental listing from the listing agent. Once they give you the thumbs up, and there is a strategy to actually doing that, but we don't have time for that right now. I'll tell you this though, get permission to advertise that rental listing. And I'm going to give you, I have about 20 to 30 platforms that you can use in different ways to actually approach getting leads from this. But I'm going to give you one right now, which is 100% free. How I was generating 200 leads per day and paying $0 in ad spend. It's called Facebook Marketplace. Okay. If you post a rental listing that you get permission, you post that on Facebook Marketplace. If you do this correctly, and again, it's tough to master this, but you get the basic principle here. You will get leads flooding in every single day. Now, you have to take those leads and convert them over into clients of yours. That's an art in and of itself, which I do teach agents how to do. Now, you want to take those clients and you want to do showings and you want to put in offers. I have very advanced strategies where I essentially put in a pre-offer. I'm going to do this really quick. A credit background eviction report, rental application, proof of income, driver's license, quick little contract to lease. Make sure the listing agent says yes. Then you go and show the property. That's how I do 0 showings sometimes, okay? Very advanced strategies like that because it only takes me about 2 hours maximum to do a rental deal compared to the average buyer that you're going to work with, which
3
is
weeks,
20
40
hours.
showings.
It's 20 hours. That's according to the NAR.
Jeez.
They said 20 hours per buyer. Rentals, 2 hours. You can do 5 to 10 rentals in the exact same amount of time and effort it takes to do one buyer. So that's when everybody tells you, yeah, you're not going to make as much money if you do a rental compared to a purchase. Yeah, you're right about that. But you could do 5 to 10 times the volume. And then you're setting yourself up for a long-term career because how else are you going to scale? Even if you could make $100,000 a year right now off the buyers, who cares? And in 3 years from now, are you going to be making $1 million? Absolutely not. But you can if you do the rental strategy because you can convert 30% of your closed renters into buyers. That's why rentals are so powerful. So back to the actual strategy, right? We've gotten our leads. We've converted them into clients of ours. We've done our showings. We've put our offers in. Now, all you're going to do is rinse and repeat. That's it. You're basically doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, nonstop. You're generating leads every single day. You're doing showings every day. Or if you're like me, you got advanced strategies where you don't need to do showings, which I do teach agents how to do. Then you're going to be putting offers in. You're going to be maybe doing an HOA application. If you're in an area that has an HOA, you're going to be doing a 1 month rent deposit held in escrow. Then you wait until the final walkthrough. You go to the final walkthrough. The tenant basically brings their last month's rent, their security deposit. You get your commission check out of the first month's rent. Typically, the tenant gets their keys and you go and cash your check. That is the basis to this strategy. It is literally that simple. Now, it's very hard to do 30 of these in a month to get the commission up a little bit higher, to convert the renters into buyers. That's what takes a lot of time and skill and practice. I'll give you some examples here of why, right? So my first year of doing real estate, when I was creating this strategy, I did about 50 deals, not that much, but not too shabby. 6 of those were house sales and the other 44 were rental deals. Made about 80,000 in commission. Not too bad in 2020, right? Right when we were entering into the pandemic. 2021 rolls along, second year of real estate, and I was like, holy crap, I'm on to something here. I started to learn a little bit more, figure out my strategies a little bit more in depth, and I closed about 170 deals, made about 250,000 in commission in my second year. At that moment, I believe I iconed for the first time with EXP. And again, I had done about 10 house sales. So 160 of them rentals, 10 of them house sales. I was like, wait a minute. This is too easy. Let me try to focus on this. Let me try to master this strategy right now. Let me try to create systems and processes. Let me try to dial this in. Let me see what I could really do. In my third year of real estate, I closed 250 deals. I made $510,000 in commission. I personally believe that's a Guinness Book World Record. I think I'm actually going to contact them and apply for this because I don't think any agent alive has ever done that many deals that quickly into their career. Guess what? as a solo agent. I didn't have a TC, a VA, a mentor, a team leader, a broker. I had nothing. Nobody helped me out. I did everything alone. I didn't even have a showing agent, right? So
Andy, the average
that's the
agent does
power.
4 deals a year. It would take an average agent. How many deals did you do that year? 200?
250.
4 into 200. It would take an agent 50 years, the average agent, which is 70%, to do what you did in 1 year off of rentals with a $500,000 income. That's unheard of. You paid more in taxes that year than what the average agent makes in 10 years.
I'm sure the IRS loves me. Yeah, I'm sure they do. No, it's. I'll tell you, it's fun doing this because it's at the end of the day, you got to be fulfilled, right? So think about it. I didn't just close 250 transactions. I helped 250 families, and I'm talking single mothers with children. I'm talking, your average husband and wife and child. I'm talking your college students. I'm talking your college grads, everybody you could possibly imagine. I have helped your grandma, your mother. I have helped every single person. I've closed over 800 deals at this point, years into this. I've helped everybody. And that feeling is so fulfilling because you got to think about it. When you're working with buyers and sellers, unless you're a superstar and you've been doing this for 50 years and you're closing, 100 of these a year, guess what? You're not closing that many deals, right? Think about it. You're closing one deal every 3 months. That's the average age. 4 deals in a year. You're closing a deal every 3 months. How discouraging is that? You're not seeing success. It's taken you 90 days to celebrate a win, to be like, oh my God, I got a deal accepted. I'm about to cash a check.
Andy, that's not happening with rentals. It gets worse than that, Andy. You got that one deal that you're getting in 2 to 3 months, and you're 3 days away from closing, and title comes back and says, lender just called. They have canceled underwriting. Something came up. Now you 3 months into this, you're expecting that commission. It's the only deal you've got on the books. It's a $15,000 commission check. Gone. You doing 20 deals a month, 3 of them could disappear, and it's absolutely irrelevant to you.
I wouldn't even notice it.
You wouldn't know it.
So instead of making 40 grand that month, I'll make $36,000. You know what I mean? It's like I won't even notice it.
Dang it, I'm broke now, right? God, come on.
It's honestly, I'm happy to brought that up too. It's funny. Even I just got a text message before we started here from. So I still do real estate, believe it or not. I coach agents and teach agents how to do this. I've had 257 agents sign up in my first year and 2 months. RicherRentals.com. I coach agents how to do this, but I'm still doing deals. I might have just lost one of my buyers today. It's so funny. They just texted me. I got to read it afterwards. They said something bad and we're like 3 days before closing. So like it even happens to me, but I don't care because I got all these rental deals. I'm still going to close anyways this month. It doesn't even matter to me anymore. And obviously if you're making this kind of money, you're going to have money saved away. You're not going to be living paycheck to paycheck. You're not going to be scrambling and worrying about closing deals. You close deals because you want to, not because you have to, because you're always making money when doing this rental strategy. That's the beauty behind this.
Well, and let me tell you, Andy, as an agent who coaches, teaches, trains, I've got systems like you. One of the things that we do is we try to have agents look at all their options. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? So for an agent that really hadn't thought about the rental, but you're watching this and you're going, holy crap, I didn't know. I want you to imagine taking your current book of business, the listings that you do and you want to do, and the buyers you're working with, and then let's say you supplement with 5 to 10 rentals a month. Can you imagine the cash flow that you're going to have to fund the marketing for all the stuff that you're wanting to do that you haven't been able to do because you haven't had the extra income? That's where this really, in my opinion, for the average agent, that's where this becomes a superstar, because it's going to infuse the thing that they need to run their real estate business. And that's cash without the stress, without the struggle. To me, it's a game changer.
100%. It's funny you mentioned that too, because I just had an agent. So the way I teach agents, I have a whole training platform, like a membership area. Then I do a live weekly coaching call. And we also have a exclusive community too. But in the live coaching call, I do it every Wednesday at noon. Obviously you have to, be in my program to get access to it. One of the agents, his name is Sam Joseph. He basically stopped the whole call and he was like, Andy, I got to say something. And I'm like, what's going on, Sam? He's like, I got to thank you. He said, today was my last day at my full-time job. And I said, oh, what do you mean, Sam? He said, I started your strategy about a year ago. He signed up in
That's
the very
amazing.
beginning when I launched this, and he said, I've been doing it part-time ever since. I was doing my full-time job, and my goal was to make over $150,000. That's what he was making at his full-time job. Pretty good, actually. He hated it though. He didn't like his job. That was the problem. It wasn't about the money for him. He enjoyed real estate more, but he could not figure out a strategy before meeting me to get out of his 9-to-5 job that he despised. He actually told me he made more money this and whatever, the last year of him signing up, so 2024 essentially, than he did in his full-time job just doing real estate part-time. That means he made over $150,000 in 1 year doing my rental strategy part-time. Think about that for a second. Think, anybody watching and listening right now, if you're in a job that you hate and if you're doing real estate part-time, there is another option for you. I got many agents that close 5, 6, 7 deals a month doing this part-time. You don't even have to, be a wild, crazy man like myself and put 12 hours a day in. No, you're not going to do 30 deals a month, but you can still do 5 to 10. And that's enough to make a 6-figure income to quit your job. Then, like I said before, the best is yet to come. You're going to convert your closed renters into buyers. That's when your money 3, 4, 5 X's at that point. So for anybody out there that is thinking that it's a bad real estate market, that interest rates are high, prices are 40, 50% overinflated, the inventory is too low, guess what? That just means it's an incredible renters market. So you have the opportunity to enter into a niche, a lead generation niche. That's what this is. It's a lead generation rental niche. What nobody is doing right now. There is no competition. There's a giant gap in your market. I don't care if you're in Nebraska, if you're in Las Vegas, if you're in New York City, wherever the heck you are. If you do this strategy, you're basically going to be one of the only agents doing it.
There's no competition.
No competition. We have
None.
200,000 agents here in or 200,000 agents in Florida altogether. Do you know how many agents are working with renters? I could probably count them on my hand, right?
Yeah.
It's probably like 50. Well, I don't think I have enough for 50, but it's probably like 50 to 100 agents in the whole entire state that are actually actively working with renters. Like, that's
Untapped
their full time.
virgin marketing right there that an agent could jump into and not have to compete. Isn't that amazing? I don't know
It's
any agents here
insane.
locally on Andy. I know no agents here locally that does anything on social media about rentals. So let's start to get this plane landed, because guys, what I wanted to do today was, we weren't going to do a slide deck. Andy has that. Matter of fact, if you guys want to, couple things, go to his channel. Just go to @Andy Coleman Real Estate and you'll find his channel. Subscribe to this guy. Trust me, guys. Also, in the description, I'm going to put 2 things that you need to look at. I'll put his YouTube channel, because you need to go look at this guy's stuff, man. I'm telling you, it's that good. And I'll put a link to his program. Now, Andy, I don't know how you want to do this. And guys, hear me. I don't have any affiliation with Andy. We're at different brokerages. I don't make money to sell this program. I've not asked the man to give me an affiliate, nor do I want one. That's how much I like this program. So guys, hear me. I'm going to put a link below. Grab his program. I don't know what specials he's running. I don't even know what it cost this month. I know what it cost last month with that special you were running for our president.
I'll tell you this. I'll run a promotion for anybody that watches this podcast right now. You can type in the promo code Kelly1. So KELLY. Is that how you spell it?
KELLY, the number 1. So you'll give him a special.
1. So it'll be a special code. I'll take off. I'll because I run promotions every month. Sometimes I take off $100, sometimes $200, sometimes $500. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take off $700 from my program. And this is just out of the top of my head right now.
Okay.
So I normally, I normally run sales, but I'll take off $700. Anybody watching this, type the code in, the promo code Kelly1. Kelly will put it in the description.
I'll put the description. And guys, I'm not making money off of this. Please hear me. I believe in what he's saying so much that I want to help him get his message out. So I'm honored that he's going to make that Kelly1 special. Go down to the description and get this, guys. I'm telling you, I had the opportunity to look at your video funnel, and I saw what they get on your dashboard. I was freaking blown away at what you offer.
Yeah, in my program, yeah, I mean, it's honestly the value is like I probably can
Mind
charge.
blowing.
I'm not even exaggerating. I could probably charge $50,000 for this. It's not even close. Don't get worried, everybody. It's not even close to that. I probably could because I quite literally have agents that are making 40 grand a month. I have multiple testimonials and reviews to back this up. Where I've interviewed agents in my program, multiple agents have made over
That's
40 grand
crazy.
a month. I have single mothers of 5 that when they came to me, they were basically, oh my God, Andy, I am about to quit real estate and work at Whole Foods because I can't make any money to
I
feed my
saw that
5
video.
children.
I almost cried. I was blown away.
I believe I cried, honestly,
I was
because
literally almost
of
in tears when I saw that testimony.
because I remember when she called me all those months ago and she said, I don't know if I can keep the roof over our heads this month. I don't know what to do. And I said, trust me, Evelyn. Her name is Evelyn. I said, trust me, Evelyn. I said, find a way to sign up for this program. I think she just slapped it on a credit card or something. And by the time that 30 days was up, before her payment was even due, she had made $14,000 in commission. It changed her entire life. It was the most money she's ever made in her entire existence as
Wow.
a mother, as an ex-wife. It was the most she's ever made. And
Wow.
I got her to the point of changing her mentality from buyer, seller to work with the renters. Go back to the
Love it.
basics, and I promise you, you will enjoy your real estate career. You will
Yes.
finally feel like you belong.
Andy, I'm going to say it. Are you ready? Andy Coleman is making real estate great again. I said it.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, man, I appreciate you being on the program. Guys, I'll put his YouTube channel. I'm looking at his channel on the screen. It's a pretty cool channel. And you know what I love about it? He's at a competing brokerage. I could care less. This is value, guys. Go check his channel out. If you like him, follow him and check him out. I'll put the link to his program for the Kelly One promo 700 off, which is killer. Most of you get that program. Go get your first rental. You'll have it paid for. This is the way it is. Andy, are you offering, or do you see anything in the future where you're going to be, for people that buy your program and follow you as rentalites? Are you going to be doing any, like, maybe once a month training, or people that actually buy your program and use it?
Yes, I mean that's what I do. So I threw the whole, the way agents usually teach. I said, you know what? I want to do something different, just like I'm doing different in my
Sure.
rental strategy. So I have an entire program where, you could literally get access to it 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night, whenever you want. You'll go in there and go through all of my trainings, which is
Love it.
extremely extensive, not overwhelming. But then I also do, yes, a live group coaching call every single Wednesday at noon Eastern time. For anybody
Beautiful.
in the program, you literally get access to me. You could
Love
pick
it.
my brain, ask me whatever kind of questions you want. I'm there to support you. I don't want agents saying, oh my God, this doesn't work, give me my money back. I don't want to hear that ever, because I want to make sure that
Wow.
you're succeeding in real estate like the 257 agents that have signed up. That's what I want for everybody. So if you don't understand something in the program, come and ask me. I am there to
I
help
love it.
anybody. Everybody learns at a different rate, right? We're all, despite what your mother might have told you when you were younger, we're all not equal. Okay. People learn at different rates. So that's why I felt like I should be there to help and support agents every single week. Plus, we have a live 24/7 community on WhatsApp. So when you sign up, you get 24/7 support from me, my team, the agents in the program, the agents that you're seeing in these reviews and interviews. They are there also helping you, collaborating, sending referrals across the country. I personally believe this is the single best program for real estate agents. We have colleges for business, for law, for doctors. Where's a college for real estate? It does not
Yeah.
exist. If you
Yeah.
want to learn how to make money in real estate, good luck. You're off to the races on your own. I believe I changed that. Rich Rentals, you can actually make a living today. You don't have to wait 6 months to close your first deal or 9 months. It's not like that whatsoever. Renters need to move now. Within 30 days, these renters need to be in a home, meaning you get paid and you get the benefit of helping somebody
Amazing.
out. They're going to be so grateful to
Amazing.
you. I tell you, everybody
And you
follow
don't have
me
to
on
cold
YouTube.
call to make 30 grand a month. This is not something where you're cold calling,
Oh no.
getting blown out, getting people crapping all over you, getting, told to F off, getting the poop emoji sent on your text. You don't have to do that with this program. This program literally will feed people to you by utilizing sites like Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, reaching out to listing agents, property managers, guys. This thing will feed itself, and you're not going to have to cold call to get 30 grand a month. And Andy, to me, that is a life game changer for real estate agents watching this channel right now, because they're being told door
Yeah.
knock and cold call. That's how you're going to get it.
Yeah, yeah. Door knock and get the door slammed in your face, cold call and get hung up on and cursed out.
Exactly.
No. These are warm leads. I forgot to mention that before, actually. There's so much that goes into this. It slipped my mind. But yes, you actually get warm leads. People reaching out to you saying, Andy, I need your help. I want your help. Is this property available? Can you go and show me this property? They're not going to be pissed at you for reaching back out to them because they're reaching out to you in the first place.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you want warm leads, if you don't want to get discouraged 24/7, if you want to feel what it feels like to be a winner in real estate, I personally believe in 2025 in this market, this is the only strategy
Love it.
that works this effectively.
All right. Wow. I'm like excited again. So Andy, thank you for being on the channel. I look forward to hearing. Guys, if you take action and grab Andy's program, do me a favor. Come back to this channel in 30 to 50 days and drop some comments on this video of what happened in your life, how this has changed your life. I want to hear those. And for some of you, if you see massive results like I think you will, I want to get you on the channel. I want to talk about it with you because I want other agents to really see your story and hear what's going on for you. Andy, thank you so much. Any last words? We're going to put all your stuff in the description, so that's going to happen. Any last words, anything you want to say in parting? And then we are done with this video. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that flew by. No, I mean, well, Kelly, thank you again for having me. That's very gracious of you. There's a lot of agents out there. I don't want to throw shade, to some of these bigger name agents out there. I feel like some of them get threatened. You don't have that attitude at all. It's so refreshing that you are literally just trying to help our fellow brothers and sisters. You're trying to help our community, which is like, oh my God, that's so refreshing to see. It's not all about you. It's about everybody else. And some of these agents out there, these bigger names, they're afraid of any kind of competition like that. Kelly, you're not. So I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I really want to thank you for giving me a platform, having me on. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's the Andy Coleman. Guys, check out my website, richardrantals.com. If you have any questions after watching this, after going through my website, book a call with me. If you guys want, a discovery call, consultation call to see if the program's a good fit for you, you could book a call with me. That's what I'm here for. And you will be speaking to me